Well, we all know that drinking alcohol is a big part of any celebration, but there are many among us who do not consume alcohol, whether it be for religious or social reasons. Those non-drinkers can often feel left out. This morning, we're joined by Annie Groer and Jura Koncius of the Washington Post. I hope I nailed it. They are from the home section. They're here to tell us about the etiquette for hosting people who do not drink alcohol. And I guess there is a way to handle this. I had a friend of mine who didn't drink, and it's so funny. You don't think about this and how difficult it can be for the person until you start pouring wine, and then all of a sudden they put their hand over, or it's somehow everyone's eyes are drawn to that person. So how do you go about this without creating any sort of embarrassment or handling it the correct way?
Well, actually, it's interesting that you mentioned the table, because that's one of the ways that people who don't drink, I think, feel sort of different from everybody else. Some people do that by not giving them a wine glass at all, or some people who don't drink sort of turn it over. I think each person sort of has, their own comfort level in handling this. Some of them would rather have sparkling water in a wine glass. Some of them just don't want the wine glass at all.
Is it better for you to say something to the host right off the bat when you arrive, or how do you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, if you're at a small dinner, presumably you know the host well enough to say, I don't drink. And if the host is really a well-behaved person, they won't pry. They will simply say, fine, what can I get you instead? Mm-hmm. I think often the feeling of being a leper and a social outcast comes at large gatherings. Let's say, it's all the rage now to have a martini bar or a signature drink at your party, and in comes someone who doesn't drink for whatever reason, and they say, oh, do you have anything non-alcoholic? And someone will say, yeah. Get the Diet Coke out of the fridge.
It's out in the garage.
Not very festive.
Yeah, no.
As a matter of fact, a chef in New Jersey named Liz Scott, who doesn't drink, decided she would write a book about this and sort of give recipes for things that you could make that were festive drinks. And her book is called Sober Celebrations.
Wow.
And it's really a terrific book, because it brings out all these interesting issues that you don't even think about. But 1/3 of us don't drink.
Well, I was just going to ask. That's a significant amount of people, isn't it?
It is, and it's ranged over the years from 29% to 42%.
And the reasons are all over the map. I mean, you could be in recovery, you could be pregnant, you could be taking antibiotics, you could be the designated driver, you could simply not like the taste of alcohol,
you might
or
be
you
on
don't
a diet.
want to waste the calories.
Right.
So if you're a smart host, you will take all of that into account. Also, if you're serving food, you won't cook with alcohol, because although there's this myth that alcohol burns off under high heat, doesn't always. So be careful.
You talked about all the different ranges, and you mentioned diet too. A lot of people, boy, I'll tell you, it's a good way to pack on the pounds, knocking down those beers.
Eggnog.
The eggnog especially.
Eggnog is a killer.
Deadly.
But let me ask you this. Isn't there also this sort of stigma attached that all of a sudden, if everybody's sitting around, everybody's having the glass of wine, and you're the one doing this, that all of a sudden it's the whispers, geez, I guess he's recovering alcoholic. I mean, isn't there something...
Or taking Prozac.
Exactly.
Right, exactly.
And that's another reason why you should be concerned about your guests, to make sure that it's a good...
Well, but you can turn the tables. If you're the person who doesn't drink, and everyone around you is drinking, and they're putting pressure on you, I mean, you could either think it to yourself or say out loud, excuse me, you guys can't get through 3 hours without a drink? Yeah. Who's got the problem here?
What about let's flip it. What about going to a party where people don't drink alcohol?
Well,
that happens too, doesn't it?
It's interesting, because we've recently heard that there have been invitations going out, formal invitations that say, no alcohol will be served on a formal invitation. And you get things, going, I guess I'll have a couple of glasses of wine before I go. But then you figure, well, gee, can I make it through a party without drinking? And if I can't, is there something wrong with me? And then, of course, the issue is, should you bring a bottle of wine to a party like that? And the answer is N-O.
Absolutely not.
Well, unfortunately, we've run out of time, but you had a lot of great displays here. There are other things that you can drink other than alcohol. It's obvious.
This is all stuff you can buy in the supermarket. Just add club soda and blue Gatorade.
And just remember, it's
cranberry juice, whatever.
Yeah.
It's not about the alcohol, it's about the toast.
That's right. And it's about having a good time.
Exactly.
And making sure everybody has a good time. Thank you both for coming in.
Our pleasure.
Happy holidays. Still to come.